Uh, all right, so I noticed that there is a new update on Sandbox Build data side. How to like open it.
No, no, no. Where you at is noisy. Try to be more audible. I couldn't get that. Our head more backer than Sandbox update. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes, your background is noisy. So please, can you type it? Can you type what you were trying to tell me? Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Daddy Rufasa. This is day 4. Is it day 5 already? No, it's day 4. This is day 4 of the Sandbox Game Builder Bootcamp in collaboration with UAN Network Animation, in Animation Network. So today we'll be diving more into the game maker and polishing our games. Our game we already built, which was the Fella Quest game. So I said there was a new update on the Sandbox Builder slide. When I open the Builder slide today, Sandbox Builder slide, Sandbox Builder site. Praise, you would find a way to communicate this better. You understand? You could unmute your mic and just communicate it better. It's more time on system. Okay, to the game maker. Yeah, I mean, I told you guys on the first time I opened the game maker, I noticed there were new updates. Have they made another update? After that other update, did they make another update? That would be wild. Hmm. Okay, we're going to see for ourselves today. So okay, so is this the first time you're installing the Sandbox game maker, or you had to reinstall it again today? Praise. Okay, you've always had it. Okay, I mean, this was exactly what I was saying when I opened it on the first day. I saw the new updates and I had to adjust. So it's nothing so complex. It's still not rocket science. It's just that there are few updates, and I bet the updates is to serve us better. You understand? Okay,
All
so
right.
let's
Before we go,
go. Okay, go on.
okay, please,
Go on.
before we go in, high pressures. Hi, people. Good evening.
Boss, good evening.
Good evening. How was your day?
Not so bad. We are surviving.
All right. I know so this is how you're doing. Hi, people. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. So today's day 4 of the World Sandbox Nigeria. Right, and we're about to get started. I just wanted to know you guys are active. So now that I've confirmed it, let me trust her. You can go on now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so the game maker was being buggy, so I had to restart my computer. I've closed it twice now and put it back on, but it kept on having the same issue, so I had to restart my PC. Okay, so I wanted to go one after the other. Like I said, this should be a very impactful boot camp. Because we are not over 40, over 30. You understand? We are barely 10, right? So I would always want to make sure we go over each and everything we learned so that everybody's carried along. You understand? So let's start with Alabala. So Alabala, what have you learned so far? Do you have any challenges so far?
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Again. I wasn't in yesterday's class, so and I'm here to watch the video, so I can really speak on yesterday due to light issues. Even now, I even came late. So, yes, sandbox ecosystem, um, the game builder, and basically the tools. So, to be fair, I already knew quite a bit about sandbox because I once, or rather, earlier this year, I messaged Vic. You said message Vic and asked him like how I could contribute to like Sandbox and become probably like a member of you guys at Sandbox Nigeria, something like that. And he was like, I should, because I do videos quite a lot, although I've stopped for now, but I do. Videos. And he was like, I should research about Sandbox. Um, So aside from the knowledge I already had before the bootcamp, I would say I never really tried using the game maker. So I never tried like making games. Although I watched reviews of people trying to like, create a game and play games on Sandbox, but I never myself tried to like, use the game maker. Um so what I have actually learned from bootcamp, or rather what I am learning is how to utilize the game maker create games and stuff like that. Thank you.
Awesome. I mean, that's primarily what we're doing, right? To get as much game builders or on board as possible, right? And so far, I don't know what you've learned. You've not communicated that before. Um, I think so far, um, yeah, I heard you. You said something about not being in yesterday's class only, and it was yesterday's class you started dealing with the game maker itself. So I think we are still aligned. So today, even though I'm going to be rushing as I rushed yesterday's one, but I'll go over what we did yesterday briefly and probably repeat the process too on another character. We are also going to be creating another quest while we polish the already done one. Or actually, we polish the already done one before we start another quest. So, yeah, you're going to catch up. So, okay, that's for Labola. Thank you, Labola. Now it's Johnson. Johnson, how far?
Boss, I do okay, I do okay.
How you been now? Do you have any challenges so far?
No, not yet. Like I went through the video on YouTube today, then I opened the sandbox or game page and downloaded that game maker stuff. It I never really go through the interface. I mean, from today's class now, I'll fit start up something tomorrow, just to play around with my normal self. But I'm learning like seriously.
Awesome. I think that's the only thing that's that makes the difference. Your personal effort, you're practicing it, you're going and breaking things in the game maker and fixing them together. That's what creates muscle memory. So you understand what you're doing better. You understand? So yeah, I totally advise that. But you should just go in there and just try and figure things out yourself. Yeah. Um with your animation, I don't know whether you're the same person as praise.
Right, it's the same person. I just brought in the other account.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now your turn. How you been now? What's the progress so far?
All right, so everything is good. Everything is good. I tried practicing today on my own, but I found a bit of challenge somewhere around how to scale objects. So I use one by one. I use one by one, and I'm trying to find. Now, honest truth, I've not rewatched the video. I've not rewatched the video, but I was trying to do something on my own by learning how to scale characters, and how to do the placement on my own. But I'm finding that's the challenge I'm having right now. But I know once I open the videos and start watching it, it will be better.
Do you want to know one crazy thing? I don't know how to scale characters on the sandbox. Um, a student of mine the first boot camp actually, was doing that, and I was looking at him to learn that, but I think I got so occupied, so um, I couldn't, I couldn't get back there. But then, all I know is building the asset in the Vox editor. I know how to arrange it for it to be a big item, right? But actually bringing it to the sandbox as an item and scaling it the way I would scale it in Unreal Engine, I do not know how to do that. That's You understand? I know I'll figure it out one day just by dabbling around the game maker. Yeah. So this goes a long way to show that nobody has everything figured out. You understand? It's consistently dabbling in front of it that makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah, Sandbox made updates. Now I understand what you mean. Season 7 is coming, so they made updates to the game maker. Wow, it looks good. Someone that was faulty, it was buggy. It was trying to update. Was trying to update. The UI is new. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Jesus Christ! I just showed my password. What the hell?
No, you don't see a password though.
Okay, thank you, Jesus. Are you seeing that beautiful season 7 wallpaper? That's cool. So last year, I told you last year, late last year, they did a retro session, a retro game build session. So we were meant to build games of the past, but I did not get the team. So actually, I was building the Fela game. I was thinking it's an 80s game, right? I did not know it's all those Tetris and all those Space Invaders, all these old games like Chicken Invaders, if you played it, and all those retro games. Do you understand? All those retro games, like I said. So I did not get the memo anyway, and I was busy building a very complex game like a Fela game. So we did not make it through, but it was a very beautiful experience. I found out that this same game maker I've been playing with all this while, that you can actually bend it to produce crazy things. You can build 2D games in this game maker you're looking at like this. I just have an overview. If you make the camera to be on top, then you can make the assets lie down flat. Then it looks like a 2D. Yeah, I think that's is how they did that. But I mean, there was a lot of crazy things, man. I saw people bend this game maker to different dimensions. I've never seen it. I didn't know it could do a lot of crazy things, right? So people can be very, very creative, and you too, you can be very, very creative if you know the basic. Because of the type of jobs I do, I usually build with Unreal Engine or Unity a lot, right? And I also build on Sandbox for fun most times. This feels like playing game to me. You understand? So, but, I mean, I never knew it could it could go that far. Sure. So yeah, because of want of time, we'll be diving straight into what we have today.
Hi, sir. So now,
Yeah,
the games we are building on Sandbox, can we export it and play it on our phone like normally?
not yet, but we are pushing Sandbox to come on mobiles. But right now, it's currently on PCs only. You understand? So
Okay.
you cannot play these
So,
games on.
so you
Yeah,
cannot play it. No, you cannot play this game outside of Sandbox platform.
no, you cannot play it outside of Sandbox platform yet. Yet, emphasis on yet. It is the next stage. It's literally the next stage. The first stage is the last stage was the sand chain, Sandbox on chain, sand chain. And the next one was is the what's it called? The mobile version of the whole Sandbox thing. You can build games now and ship for mobile. You understand? They're further optimizing it. I know the engineers working behind the scene, but they are very, very close to achieving that. Awesome. So let's get into what we came into the room to do. If I said that well. I wonder what's in my pocket that is this heavy. Look, it's cash. So um so far we good. So far we uh built a quest which is the last quest, right? We built the last quest, and the quest was prompting us to pick up the last saxophone, which was scattered around the environment. What? That did not save. It did not save. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hmm. Okay, so we are going to be building a game in 1 hour. We're going to be building a last quest in 1 hour. It actually saved, but not everything saved. The objective saved, but the congratulation message and the arrangement of the assets, they all scattered. So um, I will delete this. The remove quest. I will remove the remove quest and start building a game in 1 hour is too much, but let's give it 1 hour. That's 1 hour. So let's go. First of all, Fela is the person giving the quest. Wants to build a quest. This what we're about to do now, like the game design, the proper game design. Do you understand? So it involves like the planning of the game and including the storytelling and what the mechanics of the game is supposed to be like. Do you understand? And what we want the player to feel. So what we want the player to feel is a jungle environment where Fela is going to be sending you on a mission to find um, his saxophone, just like we did yesterday. You're going to find his saxophone, right? I don't know. Can you guys still see my screen? Okay. So we're going to find Fela's saxophone, right? So when we find Fela's saxophone, let me try and pin this. Johnson, what's good? Johnson, what's good?
Boss, na my statement.
Okay. So when we find Fela's saxophone, we are going to be greeted with congratulations. You have found Fela's saxophone. Do you understand? So a jungle environment, the quest giver is Fela. He will tell you to go and find his saxophone, and you encounter enemies, right, in the game. So we're going to be calling out the characters the assets we're going to be working with, right? Number one, we're going to the environmental assets we are going to be working with are the jungle. We're going to be working with the jungle and these 4 assets too. As we're going to be working with the environmental assets, we're going to be working with our jungle themed assets like trees, crocodiles, and all whatnot to make a jungle feel. You understand? Then one thing, what other things we're also going to work with are these 4 characters, which is the wolf that is going to attack you. That's the enemy that's going to attack you, right? Fella, who is the quest giver. The item you're meant to recover, the quest item, right? And then a woman, a random NPC who is going to be giving you hints. Do you understand? She's going to be hinting you on where to find the items. Do you understand? That is going to make the game more immersive, right? So let's get into this. The whole point of this is so that you understand how the building a game logic works. Do you understand? So you understand how a game engine works. Because remember in our previous classes, I told you that you have the assets that you build in a 3D platform. Do you understand? And then when you bring it to Game Maker, you bring all those assets, different assets, like this asset I just listed like this, and the 4 of them you're seeing, and we have them interact with each other, right? So let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, what we'll be doing is to make the environment more lively. For want of time, let's polish just one part of this environment. Oh shit. Okay, no, those things are still here. So this yeah, just scatter this around just to make it more realistic. We are going to add some trees. This is drag and drop. Why it is not picking it up ASAP is because it takes time to load some of the assets, right? And some of the assets are actually not usable because they are for sale on the NFT marketplace. And for you to use them in your game, you have to buy them, right? So then we're just going to be using it because when when push comes to shove, when you want to ship this game to a land, it will not be able to mint on a land because some of the assets are NFTs and you've not bought them. Do you understand? So you cannot use all the assets, but most of the assets you're building for something that you just put in a gallery that me and you can play. Even at that, if you can't put it as a gallery, just for educational purpose, right? We're just going to be using these assets. So yeah, let's proceed. You can also learn to build these assets in your Vox editor, which we'll be discussing in details tomorrow. So just permit me, I'm just trying to flood this place with a lot of trees, just to give it that feel of being a jungle, right? Also, one of the things we're also going to be adding is terrains. That's the soil. We're going to be adding soils. So we come to this section of our game maker. This is like the drawdown panel where you can see different assets they are supposed to be loading. This doesn't usually happen, but because Sandbox made an update, that's why most of these things are just taking their precious time. In my own precious time, actually. Right. So because of want of time, will be it came up. So we're going to look for assets that we would see in jungles, right? Or something that is going to give it a jungle feel. You understand? So let's see this stone. Let's add this stone. Um, rock with slime. Bedrock. Feel free to unmute your mic and ask me questions if you do have any questions.
So I was going to ask you a question. While I was practicing, I noticed like so there was no need for the question. So what I observed was that when I came to this column, this place, this group side, this object, right? And I picked one object, right? And I created it. I added it to the game maker. So I noticed that the object stuck to the cursor. So later, I realized that all I just had to do was change the command. Let's see command. I just had to press V sharp, and it didn't change. So there's no need for pressing again.
Okay, also, I mean, you figure all these things out by actually building the sandbox ecosystem. By actually building in the sandbox, actually, sorry. So most of all these things, nobody has it 100% figured out. You just keep dabbling around it until it makes sense, right? So what we're adding here is green slime. Just anything to make the environment feel real. No, mind you, if I use my right click, I remove. And if I use my left click, I add. So I remove and make a hole on the ground. I use my right click to fill it up, right? I make a hole, I fill it up. Make a hole, fill it up. The hole, fill it up. So that's just gives a green slime feel, right?
How exactly did you make that hole? Is it that after you drop the object, a hole automatically comes up?
If I press my right click, it's removed. It's like minus. It removes, like this you're seeing it now. If I press my left click, it adds, like you're seeing it now. Did you notice that?
Can we do it? Can we do it with every box?
With what?
Can we do it with every box? Like
yes, you can do it with every. Yes, you can do it with every terrain. Yes, you can do it with every terrain.
Okay, it's called
solid or liquid.
let me.
Yes, terrain. So like this now is red water. When this is red water, I remove, I add. Right? That's red water. I remove, I add. You understand? So, you know what? Let's just leave it there. And this is normal water. I remove, same way. Add. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's for adding terrains, adding water. We're going to look for bedrocks. So just scatter bedrocks here, here. So let's raise walls around it. So we just create an illusion of just boxing the area. You understand? So the way I like doing it, I like piling couple blocks on each other. So the height I want it. Control is C. So now when I make the height I want, I then start extending the rest of it when I position myself. So if I position myself towards this extreme so I can see the rest of it, sorry. I can see the rest of the environment, then I just come here, add one more, come here and just drag it and then I cover it. Do you understand? I use that to quickly just make a wall, for example, right? So we're going to box in this little part of the environment.
How did you create the wall again?
I stacked up blocks. I stacked up blocks like this, one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, for example. When it starts, then I move into perspective, click on this, and then drag it. You understand? drag it, and there you have it. And come and extend from this side, and also move into perspective and extend from this side. Do you understand?
Okay, let me try.
Okay, it's good you're doing that in real time too. So yeah, let's box up the land. Um, okay, so we've succeeded in boxing up the land, right? Now, inside this small place, let's um let's make it worth it. Let's start building the quest, right? Um, let's remove all these trees first of all, so we're able to have space to creatively do what we want to. Yeah, so we have space to look at the people we are dealing with. Awesome. So we are done building a little environment, even though we'll give it more details, but this feels like a jungle in a way, right? This is like a jungle in a way. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, we are going to be building our quest, right? Um, good. So first of all, I would love us to come to this section of the game maker, which is called the gameplay section. So in this section is where you actually do the logic, um, the game rules, the screen, you want it to be first person or third person or last person, however which you want the game to be, right? If you're playing the game now, it's going to be in third person, right? If you want to create a screen, a start screen, or whatever you want to do, is actually in this other side, you'll be doing it. So we have the start screen. We put on the start screen, there's a welcome camera. This is a welcome camera. Let's leave it at 7. This is what we fill in the thing like what is the level's name? Let's call it Uyo animation. This UAN UAN game. This is UAN game, and we'll be calling it Felas Press, for example. Do you understand? We also select the type of sound we want to be hearing in the game. Do you understand? You can pick out any type of sound that resonates with the theme you're going with. Do you understand? So now we've set up the game screen so that if we start the game, there's going to be a game screen. So if you press tab now, the game is going to start and you're going to see like a nice game screen, like a start game screen. Do you understand? And it's going to have all these details that you've imputed, right? It's going to have all these cool details that you've imputed. So let's see that work out. Awesome. So you can see here now. The creator is writing Sandbox. Sandbox. Okay, now he's writing my name. That was trippy. So as you can see, you made it to UAN's game. The creator, Daddy Mufasa, it could be written your own name if you're the one building it currently. Now, it's supposed to be showing the amount of quests that are in the game, but now you're seeing 0 quests, then 30 assets in the land, and then there's 1 land, right? So if you notice it doesn't have a head, that's because the camera is in first person. So the camera is currently on his head, where his head is. So first person means like all those Call of Duty games where you're seeing only the hand, for example, right? He's in first person, you're moving around. So the camera is currently on his head, that's why his head is not there. But if I make it third person, the camera will be at his back, following him around the land, right? So yeah, let's dive into the game. This is the environment. This is the environment. This is the ambience. This is the sun. This are the assets around the world, right? So we did a good job boxing up the environment, so we can actually make here very, very immersive. So let's get back to it. Now we'll go back to the gameplay section. What we're going to be doing now is to build our quest logic, right? So we are going to be going with add objective. Now, what's the quest we are trying to build? We are calling it Fela's quest because, like we said, we want Fela to give us a quest, telling us to go and find 3 of his saxophones. So we are calling it Fela's quest, right? The description of the Fela's quest is going to, the quest is going to prompt you to find 3 of Fela's saxophones, right? Good. Now, this is another thing again that I need to talk to you guys about. It's called message. Message is what triggers an event. Message is what triggers an action. Message is what triggers something. So if a game maker, if a game engine is where we bring 3D assets or digital assets and they interact with each other, where you code them to interact with each other, where you build them to interact with each other, a message is what triggers the interaction. Okay, that Mufasa comes into this proximity, into this circle, then the ceiling should fall on him, right? That is a trigger. And a message is sent. Once that Mufasa steps into the circle, the message has been sent for the ceiling to fall. Do you understand? So we are going to be using messages in building a quest. Do you understand? So here now, the message we are going to be building now is the message we are going to trigger for the quest to start, for Fela's quest to start is start Fela. So I need you to remember that our message to start the quest is what? Start Fela. Good. Now, the quest should go to launch. Yes, we leave that. Okay. Quest type counter. Yes, we leave that. Collected objectives. Yes. Quest item. Now, sorry, the tag. Now, this is another thing again. For my mouse and my water bottle to be differentiated in a game engine, I mean, it's common sense that makes us know that this is consumable and this one you cannot eat it. Do you understand? This is a mouse, you cannot eat it. This is a water bottle, you can drink from it, right? You can drink the content of this water bottle. Do you understand? So this is consumable, this is not. But in a game engine, you would have to give them different tags. Okay, this one is consumable. Okay, this is tag that this one is okay, for example, this is a rat that no, let me give an analogy. Good, let's just keep up with the consumable load. Even though it's going to kind of get complex when we start talking about consumables. So, but okay, yeah, this is an electric electrical device. This is a non-electrical device, right? Now we want to put a tag to show what are electrical devices around the Mufasa. So we're going to have a tag that this is an electrical device, and we'll tag this an electrical device. The same electrical device tag, we're also going to use it to tag this one. I'm also going to use it to tag every other electrical devices around me, including my phone. Do you understand? So whenever we want to find all the electrical devices, right? Maybe your a quest prompts you to find all electrical devices, then the tag you're meant to be looking for is not random tags, but only the electrical devices tag. Does that make any sense? Thumbs up if it makes any sense. If you have question, please raise your hand. Okay, that's from praise. Awesome. So let's carry on. Let's carry on. So now we're going to be putting a tag, and the item we're going to be finding are saxophones. Do you understand? So we either use music instrument tag or just sax. Do you understand? So let's use the sax tag. Good. Now the amount of saxophone we want to find, let's find 3 saxophones. Good. Now when the another message you want to trigger now, I told you message are what triggers event. Another message you want to trigger when the event is done, do you understand, is congratulations, you have found Fela's sax. Do you understand? So we'll build a new message. We'll call it congrats Fela. Good. Let's use congrats Fela. So when you complete Fela's task or Fela's quest, the congratulation from Fela is going to pop up, right? Good. So we've added that. Good. Now I think we are pretty much set up. Now let's come to the scene. And this is Fela, the quest giver. Now we want Fela to ask us the question. We want Fela to give us the quest. It's not the quest is not just going to either we want the quest to start from the beginning of the game, whereas you enter the game, the quest already tells you you should find Fela's saxophone, right? If you want to make it more immersive, then it's Fela that will tell him, now, man, I need you to help me find my saxophone. Do you understand? So we are going to come to Fela's character here, and we are going to give him, sorry, so I already added some of these things yesterday, and I want to remove it so that we're able to do it again from scratch, right? But it's still here, so trying to remove it. So because it's still there, let's just bring in another fella. Let's bring in another fella and have him give us the quest. I'm really sorry this game maker is being this buggy. Sandbox just made an update, and it's taking some time for my PC to download everything it already had for. So I apologize. Good. So let's be working with this other fella instead of this other fella. So let's delete this fella and
Are you talking? Because we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can you
yes,
hear
we
me
can hear
now?
you.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. So the question fellow ask is, how far now? If you help me find three of my saxophone, then the answer you're meant to answer in you. Now this is where you give like options for the character to answer positively or negatively or something random. Do you understand? So we should answer yes, yes, no wahala. I will help you find them. That's the agreeing to it. Then the disagreement is no, I no get that kind strength. Good. That's the no. You're not doing the quest, right? Now, for each of these interaction, there should be a message to trigger something. If you say yes, that means you have agreed to start a quest of finding three saxophones, right? And what is the tag we agreed to use for it is start fella, right? So we come and select the start fella message. That message is going to trigger. Let's go to the gameplay. Let's go to objective in the gameplay. That start fella message is going to unlock the quest. That's the fella quest that we built in this gameplay section. Do you understand? So once you start the game and you go to converse with fella, he asks you the question and you agree. Triggers that agreement, triggers that's at the back, it triggers the beginning of the quest, right? Good. Now lastly, also when you pick up the three saxophones, you're meant to get a congratulation message, right? So we'll get to that soonest. Right now, let us make sure the asset you're meant to pick up, they have the right tag to identify them as electrical device, right? As we gave an example, an electrical device or a saxophone. You understand? So we use the sax tag to tag all the saxophones. So good. This is just an item in the game. It's just a digital asset in the game, but you cannot pick it up. You cannot, it's just there existing like one of the trees. You understand? You have to make it a collectible. It has to be something you can collect, right? So you're going to add a component and we're going to add a collectible. That is all. So now this thing, and when you pick it up, it will be a collectible. Okay, we also want to add a name to it. So let's just give it sax. Let's just give it sax so that you can collect it. And how are we going to collect it? By collision. Collision in the sense, once you collide with it, once your body touch it, you have picked it up. You understand? You can also make it interactive. So you have to go to it and press something to pick it up, right? Good. Now we have to add a tag for it. We have to add a tag to identify it as an electrical device, like I gave an example, or a saxophone. So let's call it a sax and press enter. It has been tagged as a sax, right? Good. Now I think basically we are done with it. But remember, it's not just one saxophone we are dealing with. We're dealing with three saxophones. So let's hide these three saxophones across this environment, right? Um, I want one to be underground inside water. Do you understand? So you have to swim to get it. So let us do that. This is some of my favorite part of it. Uh, So let's move this out of the way. Somewhere here. Good. So we just made a deep water, right? Let's cover up these other ones. They don't look real. Let's cover up these ones. So we're going to remove them and fill them up. This one too. Remove them and fill them up. You understand? So that's by the extreme with deep water. So we're going to be hiding one of the sacks inside there, right? So another thing you can also do to the sacks is maybe add a notification on top of it, so that when you get close to it, you're going to be notified. The indicator is going to show that there's a sax here. This is the saxophone. You're close to the saxophone, and you can move in the direction of the saxophone, right? So if you want to do that, you can also come to the component and add indicator. You understand? Now you go to the indicator, you just indicate that sax. Now sax you do. You understand? And you're also going to do the visibility distance. So if you increase the visibility distance, even if it's very, very far away, you're still going to be seeing the notification far away. But if you reduce it, it is only when you're in that close proximity that you see the indicator. You understand? So let us reduce it from 40 to 12, right? From 40 to 12. Okay. So you have to be close to it for you to see it. You can also add interactable VFX so that it's shining or whatever, the paper is shining. Okay, what else? This is new. Distance, display distance. Sandbox added a lot of cool things, but let's not be going there for now. So I think we are done with all the components for our collectible item, which is the saxophone. And we'll duplicate it. Let's come to this book aside. We'll duplicate the saxophone there and use T to move it around. So let's bring it underwater here. Right in here. Let us put it inside this water. Good. Also,
If
so
you
have
keep, if you put some
what?
how would I say if you put saxophone inside the water, how would the player come down and pick it up?
You have to swim inside the water, go beneath and pick it up and come up. That is how. So yeah, you have to swim. We're just trying to make
What I'm saying
less
is
boring. Yeah. Go on.
I know. What I'm saying is now, would there be a ladder somewhere where the person will climb to go down to where the water is, or would the water overflow, or like would you show at the top? Because you buried it at the back.
I buried the what?
The place where you kept the water, you kept it at the back now, like
Yes.
you kept like under and that's what I'm saying. So if this is where you kept, if somebody wants to go and pick up this, how would the person get here before even getting to the water?
That's the person will have to. The person will have to swim. The person will have to dive into the water, right? Swim below and pick up the saxophone, then ascend up. You understand? And jump out of the water.
Okay. I did not see this top. I did not know that like the water will show on the top. Okay, I understand you now.
Also, so there's a lot of kidnapping where I am, and the coffee is 9 o'clock. So I'm trying to hurry up, please. Okay. So yeah, that is where we'll hide one. of the saxophones. The other saxophone, we are going to hide it. Where should we hide it? Let's duplicate it and hide it. Where are we going to hide it? When the world are we going to hide it? Okay, let's hide it somewhere here. Let's hide it somewhere here. And then the last one, we will hide it here in between the palm trees, right? So one is by this side of the water, one is this side, one is this side. Good. Now we've hidden the saxophones around. Now second to last, we want this woman to give you hints where to find them. So you can just come, okay, and let's add a speaker component, right? And this speaker component is going to, once it detects the entity, it detects you, the character, it will speak up, right? And what it should speak up is are you looking for the sax? Great. And the display duration should be let's make it 10. Do you understand? So once you're close to her, you're supposed to pop out and say, are you looking for the sax? Now, if you come close to her, you're going to interact with her and ask her. She's going to ask you again. If you come to her and say yes, does interact, then she's going to tell you. She's going to speak to you about it. So that's where we add the behavior components. That is the asker again, the same one we use for fella. So now she will not be asking you, what name are we going to give her? Let's say praise wife. Let's say praise wife. They will not say, question will not be sorry, what should be telling you is actually going to be the sax you're looking for was thrown. I don't know what I'm spelling thrown here. Down into this pond by my rubbish husband. Then you now tell her, no wahala. No wahala. Thank you. Thank you. Or you say lol. Now we're not going to trigger any message, just not to complicate things, but we can also trigger another message for maybe her to walk away after sending the message. But let us not trigger any other message. Let us leave everything to be blank, right? So no message is going to be triggered. Good. Now okay, we are done with that. Now let's add her close to the lake where she's supposed to give that hint. So she'll be standing here, very close to the lake, right? Good. What next? The wolf is also going to attack you. Wolf is going to attack you when you're close to 1. and we duplicate it. This is one is here, one is on this other side too. So no, okay, yeah, one is on the other side. So one wolf here, one wolf there, just to give you something to fight for. Let it not just be boring, right? Let's add a sword, right? We can also add someone to, like, okay, hint you to, for example, pick up the sword and do something, right? It was supposed to be a more complex class than what I am doing right now, but for the sake of those who did not join yesterday, we're trying to make sure everybody moves together, right? So probably I'll pre-record this class. I noticed Johnson is having network issues. I'll pre-record this class again too, so that we have um, a more comprehensive version of this class. You understand? So that you can always go back to it over and over and know exactly what you're doing. Again, you can also DM me, and if you have questions, you can DM Praise too. And DM me on Twitter, wherever. I'm Daddy Mufasa, wherever. You understand? Okay. Again, now this is supposed to be your spawning point, right? But if you're playing the game and you're seeing the spawning point everywhere, it's not cool now. Do you understand? So let us hide it. Spawning point is still there. When you enter the game, once you spawn, you're going to actually appear in the spawning point, but the spawning point is not there. Do you understand? So you see. Awesome. So here, let's go and check if it works. Let's interact with fella. Say how far now. If you help me find 3 of my saxophones, I beg. Say yes, no wahala, it will help you run up. Or you say no, I no get that kind of strength. Let's say yes. When we say yes, it triggers the fella quest. Do you understand? Now let's go to this woman and see. When we are close to her, she says, are you looking for the sax? Sorry, we do not make the correction to write his wife on top here, but we'll make the modification later on. So when you interact with her, she now say, this is now written praise wife here actually. She says, the sax you're looking for was thrown down into this pond by my rubbish husband. We tell her, no wahala, thank you. Then we are going to jump into this place, and you can see the sax notification. And we pick up the sax, it's written 1. And let's come out of this place before we die. So I jumped out actually. The last sax is here. See, the wolf is pursuing us, but we'll run away from it. That's the second to the last one. There's another wolf again pursuing us, but we're going to run away from it and pick up the sacks. Now we've picked up 3 sacks, but there's no congratulation message. Nothing. Do you understand? We have to go and fix that. We have to go and fix that. So let's go back to the game maker. Let's make this sword auto equip. So if we pick it up, we can auto use it. Now we'll go back to the gameplay section and go to the game rules. Now we're trying to build a congratulation message. Congratulations, you've completed this game, or you completed this. So we go to the gameplay rules, we come to the rules, we go to gameplay, pop-up window. We have a pop-up window. Now the message to trigger this pop-up window, that's we're trying to build the congratulation message, is we go to our objective to see what we put as congrats fella. Now the message after completing the task is meant to be congrats fella. Can you guys hear me well? It's meant to be congrats fella. So the message is meant to be congrats fella. Good. So we go to this game HUD, and the required message for this congratulation message to trigger is congrats fella. Good. Now, what is going to be the title of the pop-up screen that's going to come out? It's going to be congratulations. This is it. Then is shouting. Now the text for the description after writing congratulations will now say you have found all Fela's stacks. If you also want to make it immersive, you can have Fela, you can just put the title as Fela and then the description as thank you for finding my sacks. Now it makes it, instead of making it look like a third person talking to you, that you found Fela's sacks, it's now Fela telling you, congratulations, you helped me found my sacks. Do you understand? And if you also want to make it more immersive too, you can also create a message to send after closing. And that message, you can create a new message saying Fela's gratitude, for example, and then use that Fela's gratitude as a trigger for Fela's pop-up message. So Fela, whenever you come close to Fela, Fela is now telling you, congratulations, you found my distance, my saxophone. Do you understand? So this is what we are meant to tackle in this class, but I bet the more you experiment, the more you figure these things out. You have questions?
Right, so
Okay.
I don't have a question now. I think question will come when we go back to practice, because practice is actually what will get clarity. So I think we should just go back to
Yeah.
practice. Then tomorrow we can answer questions tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, never always remember to save. Always remember to save. Just for want of time, we are going to be rushing this.
So wait, how do you save your work? Is it from this donut button?
Control S.
Okay, normal controls. All right.
You can always Control S, or you still go here and just save. You understand? Yeah. So now let's just start the game and see whether everything works out the way it's supposed to. So I just try to populate the environment a little bit more. You understand? So we have this, we have some houses. Is that much? Is that easy? Now pick up the sword and use the sword. Okay. We come to Fela, we press E. We agree to the quest. The quest starts. We go close to this one. She hints where the weapon is at, where the sax is at. We get into the water. We swim. We pick it up. We go up. We leave. We jump and leave this place. What else? The other sax is just beside this wolf. We beat up the wolf and pick the other one. There's remaining one more sax. Or the collision from this won't let us get past it. So let's see if we can get past it this way. Collision still won't let us get past it. So we should go around it, beat up this guy, and hopefully pick up the last sacks. Now when we pick it up, congratulations, you have found all Fela's sacks. You understand? So it works. So that is that for this class again. I think this is what we did yesterday, but we did it with a little more complication and with shorter time. You understand? So I'll be seeing you guys in the next class where we'll be diving deep into the next class. Should be a 2 hours class. You should start by 7 and end by 9 or 8 o'clock. You understand? 9 o'clock actually, or 8:30 something. So that should be extensive class where we'll dissect, yeah, we make it more complex and also dive into SandRush, which is an AI platform for generating assets that you can bring into your game maker. So yeah, I think that's that.
No problem. Alright, so no problem. Alright, so hello everybody. I just saying good evening. I see that. Yes, I do. Alright. I don't even. I know my background is noisy. I just hope it's not getting towards you guys. So I'll be ending the call now. We'll be meeting tomorrow. Okay. So good night, everybody.